Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Weighing in at a delayed 1.5 hours, here's your fellow uptown lowlife, Cornelius Low. Oh, come on. I'm only like an hour and a half late. I'm sure I've been later than that before. Ugh. Well, the world has been really unfair lately, okay? I'm sorry, okay? At least I'm here for you guys. Hello, Dadamong. Welcome. Thank you for wishing me well, indeed. For wishing me well. This is not a VAP. It's not a VAP. A stream. I'll just put this away. Yes. And yes, folks. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. My name is Cornelius Low, professional sir, turned Butler VTuber at your service. This stream was originally supposed to have started at 9 p.m. Malaysian time. Unfortunately, I had matters to attend to. That was just coupled with a few other things, and yeah, it's one of those things. I've delayed streams before, a little bit, sometimes by half an hour, sometimes by an hour. The night one is definitely a little bit on the later side, just because it really did have like other stuff to handle. It's unfortunate, but yes. So yes, folks, I am an actual professional wrestler. Is that proof enough? Is that proof enough? I hope that was proof enough. My God, imagine if that was not proof enough. So yes, folks. So tonight we will be doing a little bit of a post-mortem on Causeway Jam KL. A very, very unique event organized by Malaysia Pro Wrestling, my home promotion, and Grapple Max Studios from Singapore. So typically, Causeway Jam is an event that will be held in Singapore, actually, hence the name Causeway Jam, because of the causeway. To those who aren't aware, the causeway is that very, very famous bridge that links between Malaysia and Singapore. And they say that bridge, in fact, those bridges, gets busy is an understatement, particularly going from Johor Bahru, Malaysia, to Singapore. Oh, there are some cameras that are for public viewing, and if you were to see those in certain times, it looks like it's just an endless number of cars going into Singapore. Indeed, it's like half of Johor goes to Singapore for work. It's insane. It's utterly insane. And Causeway Jam, the wrestling event, it has actually a bit of a history, because there has been at least 2 Causeway Jams, both held in Singapore. But the powers that be have decreed that why not we bring it to Malaysia as well? And so we brought it to Malaysia. We did. This is the logo of this show. It was held in Otis 8 Arena, where it's basically the indoor football stadium where our training center is. So all we have to do is basically move the ring from inside our training center to the outside, or the larger indoors, I suppose, which is the indoor football stadium, actually, which we've jerry-rigged into a bit of a wrestling arena. You'll see some photos. Before I go any further, let me just remind folks, please do read the rules in the description down below. I keep a tidy house. As you can see, folks, I'm also trying to hit 600 subscribers, and we're very, very close to it. I might even do something a little bit extra next week, just to encourage you guys a little bit further on that. And if you guys wish to contribute directly to Cafe Cornelius, you may do so via the Stream Elements link in the comment down below, in the description down below. Apologies. By the way, how's my volume? Should be okay, right? Is the BGM also okay? It's not too soft, not too loud, I hope. Not too loud. Oh, one more thing. And as always, folks, as always, if you wish to really, here's a little incentive for you. Hey, if you want me to do something a little extra, if you were to contribute directly, I will squat 30 reps for you. How many can you make me do? How many you make me do before I break? Can you even make me break every low? How about we find out? So actually, let's actually keep on going. Let's actually keep this on going. Let me see now. So okay, let me just do a little bit of adjusting here. How's everyone doing, by the way? How's everyone doing? I will admit I am still kind of recovering a little bit from past weekend. Oh jeez. And I'll explain why it got particularly well, not particularly, but it was just every wrestling weekend will be exhausting. There was no question about that, just because of how strenuous doing this and that is. That's one particular incident that worsened my sleeping schedule. That's for sure. I'll explain that very, very soon. Let me just let's see now. Okay, I will show the relevant photographs later. I'll show the relevant photographs later. But let's start a little bit with day 1, I suppose, or rather day 0, which is on the Friday. For you folks, the viewers, the show obviously starts on the Saturday, but for us, us wrestlers, us talents, us ring crew, it starts on the Friday, specifically Friday evening, actually. Why evening? No. Well, Friday evening, specifically because we're using that time to move the ring, essentially. Disassemble the ring, take it to the indoor stadium. And we're very blessed to have that place, actually, that space. Just because, we get to sort of like save on expenses a little bit, because guess what? Hiring a moving truck costs quite a good bit indeed. So just moving the space along there is really easy indeed. So yeah, to those that have heard me done these post-event post-mortems before, this is sort of the usual drill, I guess. Nothing really as much has changed, and that's a good thing too. It means that essentially things are done a lot more smoothly, and I gotta say it's done quite smoothly as well. Even though our setup time began only at 10 o'clock. Why so? Like I said, folks, this is an indoor football stadium. Therefore, it's still used for footballing. In fact, they football all the way till 10 o'clock. And thankfully, the football coach there is very aware of what we intend to do. So by the time we reach 10, they already started to pack up everything already, and we could already move things in. So I'm very thankful that the football coach there is very well aware of what we intend to move into the center of the football court. But also it also helps that before 10 o'clock we also spend a good bit of time disassembling the ring already, and taking it to the space. Football stadium, I see. Yes, indeed. The what's it called? Stadium Mini Jalan Raja Muda Aziz in Kampung Baru, KL. Yes, that's the one where it is. It's a pretty remarkable area as well, because although it's sort of like tucked away a little bit in Kampung Baru, and we are literally next to the HKL compound, the Hospital Kuala Lumpur compound, one of Malaysia's largest government hospitals. I think it's a massive hospital complex. Like, we are literally next to a hospital quarters apartment. I believe we are directly opposite the pediatrics unit, actually. Oh, Kampung Baru. Yes. Who'd have thunk it that there would be wrestling in Kampung Baru? I never could have imagined it, but there we are. In fact, I believe that was actually one of our first ever spaces, and then we moved away to other venues. Then we moved back to Kampung Baru due to I don't know what reasons. I wish I could see the live performance. As long as you follow my socials, I will always be announcing the new events the moment it comes out. The moment we have news of new events, it will come out. And just a little bit of a heads up, we usually are trying to give it like about a month or a month and a half ahead of time. So we will announce it a month or a month and a half ahead of time. So that should give you proper enough time to prep for it. I've never seen Malaysian live wrestling. Well, you should. You should, Demong. You've been on my channel long enough that yeah, you should. Why not meet me IRL? Why not meet me IRL? Then you actually get to see me do what I do IRL. Why not? Why not? And I can guarantee you, if you enjoy wrestling, watching it on TV, watching it in the mama with your friends, it is nothing like watching it live in person. See the sweat, see the bodies flying, to interact directly with the wrestlers, to see all the strikes and the slams up close. You see in the photos. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. I remember experiencing it myself actually. Many years ago, I decided to one day. I was obviously an active trainee at the time, but I decided to go to an event as deliberately as an audience member, just to know what it's actually like to be an audience member. So I actually bought myself a seat, sat down, and watched it. Let me tell you, it's a strange feeling seeing your friends and your fellow trainees, put themselves through all these rigors and like, oh my god, I know them. Because it's one thing to see your favorite wrestlers wrestling, but to see your friends wrestling, it's like you're concerned for them, you are worried for them. Still a good show. Don't get me wrong, still a very good show. But I was so concerned for them because I didn't truly know what was going on either, because I was still so new time. Now I'm a little more wisened up to things. And no, I still worry. So I'm thankfully Friday was fairly uneventful, which meant that the disassembly and the assembly of the ring went really smooth. What really helped actually was actually what's the word? Oh yeah, my trolley. I know this sounds really dumb, but I actually brought from my household a trolley. Actually, just your simple trolley they can buy from DIY. Yeah, that kind. And that actually helped heaps actually, because usually, guess what? It is the ring crew, it is the talents, it is the trainees themselves that would be literally lifting up the bars, the frame, the planks, all the way there. Well, they did that, of course, but half the time they also used the trolley and it could stack a lot of the planks, a lot of the steel frame onto the trolley. Ooh, I thought it might break a little bit, but actually held on for a good bit. So a lot of it was placed on it, and they could just wheel all those heavy materials straight to the center of the court. And I could see that the lads really appreciated it. And it really just helped preserve their bodies, because guess what? Some of those guys is helping to move the ring are the guys wrestling on the very next day. Okay, I can't emphasize enough. We are the ones doing this. Hello, how are you? I am fine, thank you. How are you doing, Blade? How are you doing? Talking a little bit about Causeway Jam. I will be showing some footage of the show on Saturday, but before that, just talking a little bit about Friday. Speaking of Friday, the lads were being lads. Because guess what? Because although maybe I should have said something, but whatever. I know. Sometimes you just gotta have some camaraderie, Sometimes you gotta have some camaraderie. The lads. So besides using the trolley to just to efficiently move all the heavy material, the lads also started to use it as a little bit of a toy. They surfed around on it, So one guy pushing someone, another one standing on the trolley, and surfs up and all that jazz. Jeez, maybe I should have said something. Luckily, like I say, it's an indoor football court. It's very spacious, so no one rammed into anything. Thank goodness me. And also, so a lot of folks were like surfing on that thing, like some crazed roadies essentially. Even I'm not gonna say the name of the trainee. There's this one dude. He looks let's say he looks very corporate. Okay, like he had a collared shirt on. It was bespectacled, like yours lowly, but he really looks like he came out of the office, you know. In fact, he might have actually, and he has to help out. He's a good lad, but even I was kind of surprised at this dude who seems so straight-laced. Seems like he's all about the corporate life. At one point he was standing on the trolley and stuff and getting wheelied around. Oh my goodness. This is what wrestling does to you. It turns you into meatheads, I swear. Or the meathead side of you gets unleashed. Also, here's something I want to let people know. During what's the word? One more thing that is also going to appear, that also appeared in this show, and it has always appeared actually. But I just want to allay some people's concerns about this, because like I said, this is an indoor football stadium, right? I just want to really make it clear to everyone. Usually indoor football stadiums, guess what? There might be concerns for heat. Now, don't get me wrong, this stadium is actually very well ventilated. Like there's some doohickeys all around it that allows good airflow actually. So in terms of airflow, actually there's never been a concern. It's just whether it will get a little bit body, get a little bit humid, get a little bit hot. That's always been an issue. But we brought in some mobile air conditioning units, like the kind that looks like gigantic rectangles, and there's like a giant fan. But you can even add like ice cubes into it to help make the air from it cooler. So that's pretty neat to see and kind of bewildering. Thoughts on wrestling figures? Love them. I think they're a great piece of merchandise. You know what I use wrestling figures for? I use them to plan matches. I've legit used them to plan matches. Like I will take figurines and be like, okay, you put me into this, you put me into that. I'll be in this position, you be in that position. Max will be here, Max will be there. So in case if the ring is not available for us, that is what I use. It's hilarious. How much that's what I use it for. I think one of mine is a Zack Ryder figurine. It was a used one. Oh man. So yeah, I love me some wrestling figures. And that was a Saturday. Oh, also, I'm gonna mention it. Why not? Before it was time for us to disassemble the ring, I had a nice little moment with Miles Guru, one of the guys in my PW. He's a tall Indian lad with a yellow headband. Him, he's a feature on my channel a lot more than I wish. Yeah. We had a nice little moment where we decided to grab a little snack, have some have a little like an early dinner-ish, even though dinner was provided. Actually, that's a very nice thing about my PW. I've always appreciated. We actually do provide dinner for the ring crew or lunch, complimentary, So on that night it was burgers, but that came a good bit later. But so around like 9 or 8 o'clock, I can't remember the exact time, we decided to go out and have some chicken wings in the warung, in the stalls near the stadium, and it was nice. It was nice. I got a little chat with him. It was basically that warung feeling where you are sitting on a plastic table. You are right underneath the stars. Thankfully, it wasn't raining, and we ate some really oily grilled chicken, ayam bakar. It was nice to have that little moment with him. You gotta appreciate. I like all these little victories, these little moments in life, because it's these moments in life that reminds you that I suppose you're still alive. I know that sounds really, really I know it seems like I'm sounding really, really nostalgic and like I'm making I'm talking so much about something that's so insipid and a small blip in the world, but it's these I consider this a little victory, being able to bond with Miles in this way. Okay, enough of that sappy stuff. Enough of that sappy stuff. Let's get on with the carnage. Let's move on with the carnage, shall we? Okay, there's nothing here yet. Well, let me show you the first thing here. Actually, what do I have? That's the first thing here. This one. We're starting off hot here. Okay. We're starting off hot here. Folks. Okay, before I explain this photograph, let me just move the center here. I think a suplex stunner would be a pretty cool finisher. I'm pretty sure there has been folks that have done that already. Who does that? I'm sure someone has actually done that as a finisher already. I've just forgotten who. I know there are folks that have done suplex cutters. I think Carmelo Hayes does a suplex cutter. Could be wrong. But a suplex stunner as a finisher? Absolutely. I approve. So, Saturday has rolled on by. And I decided to do a little bit of something. Because remember, this is Grapple Max and my PW, right? So Grapple Max is playing a big part of this. And I actually learned a little while ago that N-Boss Gregory, the boss of Grapple Max, a tradition that he had in his shows is that he would bring bananas. He would bring loads and loads of bananas to a show. Obviously, this is for the wrestling personnel, of course. And I thought, what a wonderful little tradition to have, because obviously, it's a good source of potassium. Keep your energy up. It's a little snack before the show, after the show, of course. So I decided to also head on out to the supermarket and get ourselves some bananas. Turns out Greg did the same as well. In fact, he bought a lot more than me too. Oh my goodness me. Oh man. And okay, and this is something that actually I didn't realize at the time too. N-Boss Gregory. It wasn't just the wrestlers that came to Malaysia, It wasn't just the Singaporean wrestlers that came. A lot of the trainees came as well. At least 20? At least 20 Singaporeans from the Grapple Max contingent came down. So actually I was wondering, whoa, is that going to be like an away team, like a away team section? It turns out not really. I think some of them bought tickets, which we really appreciate, and they scattered themselves around, which was a little bit of a pity, because, it would have been nice if they had a whole small away team section after all. But it was still much appreciated. Banana energy boost, like famous tennis player did. Yeah. So that apparently that is a bit of a tradition that N-Boss had. I don't know if my PW wants to continue that or not, but it's certainly much appreciated. Most significantly, so with the amount of bananas I bought and the amount of bananas he bought, it was plenty of bananas to go around. And surprisingly, it was almost all ran out. I think by Sunday, it was all finished. I'm surprised. I thought it might have been all completely eaten up on the Saturday, but no. Will Ospreay versus Swerve will probably be pretty good. What do you mean probably? It's those two. In fact, those two are pretty healthy. Those two are at the top of the game. Those two are both holding championship belts. Oh, very good indeed. But just a little FYI, Blade. Let's try to keep the conversation. I know, obviously, I'm talking all about wrestling, but Ospreay versus Swerve, that is AEW wrestling. I'm talking about MyPW, Grapple Max Causeway Jam, KL here. Let's try not to sidetrack ourselves, eh? Let's not try to sidetrack ourselves. Oh, I should mention this might be something that Gregory might need to change up a little bit. With the exception of a couple of people, they chose a bus, so they all decided to take the bus from Singapore to Malaysia. That's very, very normal. I do the vice versa almost every time going to Singapore. They chose a night bus. And when I say night bus, I mean 7 p.m. That doesn't sound like much. Because usually, the bus from Singapore to KL is about 5 hours. That's really not bad. Remember, folks, this was a Saturday night. A Friday night. Even worse, a Friday night. And I was following their journey too, because obviously I'm very close with some of the Grapple Max lads and lassies. They only passed the Malaysian checkpoint at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Which means that they were still at the southern tip of Malaysia at 10 p.m. Apparently, they arrived at their hotel only at 3 a.m. 3! Oh my god. Luckily, call time was a little bit later. It wasn't like 9 a.m. or something for the Singaporeans. But yeah. And here's the funny thing. There was one particular trainee, I'm not going to call out who that person is. One particular trainee very smartly decided to come to Malaysia on a Thursday. You can spend their time, meeting friends, relaxing, and not having to deal with a give or take 6-hour ride. 8-hour ride. No. It was an 8-hour ride. Yeah, that typical 5-hour bus ride was an 8-hour ride because it was on. Guess what, folks? It was on a rush hour time, a Friday rush hour time too. So hear me out, folks. If you ever want to go to Singapore, or if any Singaporeans want to go to KL, please take an off time, something like a weekday on a morning. Anything but on a Friday night. That's like the worst night possible. No, everyone wants to go in, everyone wants to go out. No. Yeah, it was just insane. They had to deal with that. And I'll get to the ordeal that the Singaporeans had to go through when we get to the tail end of Saturday, because that was, oh my god, the amount of nonsense they had to go through. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. But eventually, everyone came by to the space. All the Singaporeans, all the Malaysians were there, and we were a little bit worried at first, actually, because by around 4 or 5 o'clock, I don't know if everyone remembered this, but on that Saturday, 4 or 5 o'clock, it was pouring. It was a torrent. It was not just rainfall. It was a rainstorm. It was a terrifying storm. Like, initially, obviously the space wasn't air conditioned yet, and it was still hot, and still humid. But when that rainstorm came in, it cooled down everything by a significant amount. A few degrees drop for sure, And it was loud. So that thing last. We were actually a little bit concerned, some of us, that whether our audience will able to make it in time at all, because the rain was that severe, Route to the seat. Well, best sleep in the moving bus. I'm sure they did. Well, some people could. There are some folks that just cannot sleep in the bus, Some folks just cannot. And when you're anxious to get there on time, yeah, that doesn't help either. That does not help either. And luckily, I'm always curious whether I'll be really anxious for the show or not. because without saying too much, I prepped for this show only on that day itself. Only on that day itself, actually. Mind you, I wasn't a 4v4. You know, it was a lot to prep. Luckily, things with me were pretty okay. I was actually going to this match pretty confident indeed. Oh man. And so we decided to end. And so 6 o'clock began. The show went on its way. Okay. And mind you, folks, we were a bunch of us were pretty excited actually because this was a record for us for a house show. So when we say a house show, it means typically a more minor show, less ambitious. That's what we might be mean by a house show. So, and obviously this is held in a indoor football stadium. You know, it's not a nice theater space with a proper lighting system, a proper sound system. You know, air conditioning, really nice seats. Now this is a little bit more ratchet. However, we souped it up for this one. We actually added lights here, so you see all the lights that you see here. That's we purchased some extra stuff for that. Like some of those lights were actually like, it's not obvious with this photo, but some of them were like on a massive pillar. Like you actually need a remote control to actually remotely lift the lights up. You know, it had to be lifted electronically too. It was amazing to see. I don't think we had a Titan Sean. No, I don't think we did. So we souped it up for this one for sure. And most importantly, thanks to you guys, we sold out twice. To the point that there were 150 of you guys. And I cannot emphasize enough that we beat that record big time. In fact, the previous record was like, I'm not going to give the exact numbers, but it was definitely less than 100. Definitely less than 100. And more importantly than 100, than we selling out twice, is that this crowd of 150 sounded like 300. Okay? Just like how when we typically do shows in Quash Theater, that 300 packs sounds like 600. This sounds like 150 sounding like 300. They got loud. Y'all got loud for us big time. And this is in spite of us only having about 5 matches. Five matches, actually. Like I said, this is the house show after all. And a full-on show that we'll have typically in Quash Theater. At least 8, I think. At least 8. We have 5 matches here, but man, were they ambitious. And I gotta give it up to actually some of our lads, actually. Some of our newer lads. We actually debuted 2 new trainees today. One of which is receiving a suplex to the outside right here. As you can see, so we have the returning Orion Black. Suplexing, I'm actually not too sure what his wrestling name is. I know his, like, real name. I don't want to say his actual name just because, like, I'm actually not too sure it is. So, yes, I'm being hypocritical. Here, okay? I'm congratulating them, but I don't know the exact wrestling names. Why? I don't know. They have to earn it. I know them by their real names, so to speak. Not their wrestler names, so to speak. Here's a clearer photo. I believe this is the finish of the match. This is I'm not sure. I believe this is Orion Black's newest finisher. It seems to be literally just a flying drop kick to the back of the head. Looks nasty indeed. A valiant attempt by this debuting wrestler, but alas. Here's a good one too. Beautiful kick onto Guken. So yes, I know. I at least can say one on the left's name is Guken. He's been around for a while. Helps up with the ring just something a good bit too. Good lad. His nickname is God's Lonely Man. I don't know why he's lonely. He's pretty talkative, actually. but he still feels lonely. I don't get it, but it's a memorable nickname at least. Ate a pretty good kick, I must admit, by... Again, I can't remember their name because I'm scared I'll say the wrong thing. But he didn't win either. He didn't win. Both the new wrestlers, I was about to say trainees, but the new wrestlers, both lost. Both lost. But hey, that's what happens when you start off. Just gotta take it. Oh, and also, here's actually a really, really interesting match that happened on that day itself. So this match is pretty unique because this is a mixed tag match. This is Sarah and Shawal versus Tommy RD and Poppy. 3 out of the 4 of them are Malaysians. Sarah is the lone Singaporean here, actually. So I mean, I did say that that every match is supposed to be Malaysia versus Singapore. This is, I guess, the slight exception to this, and it's an exception I'm pretty fine with. Johan, welcome, Johan. You know what? Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, introducing, representing Malaysia Pro Wrestling, weighing in at one dance routine. He is the voice of my PW, Johan Seagull. Nick Adam, is that his wrestler name? Is that his wrestler name? Okay. It's very he is, I remember he's built from Kelantan, hence Nick Adam. Yes. Thank you for that, Johan. Johan here was the announcer for Causeway Jam KL, and much appreciated. He did a bang up job. Indeed. I'll be talking about you a little bit more near the tail end of Saturday, lad. So yes, we don't really do mixed tags too often, but I'm glad we did, because Sarah and Poppy, they are some of the very few female Southeast Asian wrestlers. Actually, Sarah's actually she doesn't seem like it, but she's actually a Singaporean. Okay, she's a brilliant lass. Like, she's very intelligent. She's involved with all sorts of interesting things. Most crucially is that she's someone that I actually call a friend, because we're both gigantic weebs. Put it this way: what I know about VTubing, she knows about VTubing. What I know about all things weeboo, oh, she knows way more. She has attended more comic fiestas than I have ever attended comic fiestas. And I've attended a comic fiesta twice. So she's attended a comic fiesta more than me. And that's just the one in Malaysia. Okay, that's just the anime convention in Malaysia. Okay, she is a anime convention vet. I tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't mind. Do you know what her freaking entrance theme is, guys? Do you know what her freaking entrance theme is, guys? If I were to say to you, ahoy, what does that mean? What does that stand for, you folks? For you folks, eh? Social Marine. Her entrance theme is literally Social Marine. Yay, my own intro, of course. Anytime. That's how much of a weep she is. Like, she is actually literally I'm not sure if she's a pirate princess, but she's a pirate. She comes up with she's usually in blue, but for today, because she wants to match colors with the Love Warrior Shawal. So she had to come out in red, and so she had a red hat on as well, which is pretty remarkable to see. And obviously, when they are as a tag team, they are called the Love Warriors. Brilliant stuff. So, they did a nice little sequence, and they ended it with I know it doesn't look like it. It looks more like a mouth shape. But they are doing a heart thing because they are the Love Warriors. But alas, Poppy gave Sarah a pretty big finish. She jumped off the top, not the top rope, the middle rope, and delivered a massive finisher to Sarah. And Shaba was about to interrupt it, but Tommy came in with a flying knee, and that secured both of them the victory. So kudos to Poppy and Tommy RD. So I believe this is Poppy's first match back after a long hiatus, actually, and she did pretty well for herself. So good on her, and then with a new outfit to boot. I'm not sure what's going on with Tommy's shirt. Maybe he should have tucked it in. The shirt looks a little bit long for him. And it says they're fight monger. Yeah, it's good branding. It's good branding at least. Anyways, wait, oops. Time to talk about this match. And at last, the 4v4, Malaysia versus Singapore. Oh, well, I mean, every match was technically Malaysia versus Singapore. This match felt more Malaysia versus Singapore than any other. I can definitely say that with a lot of confidence, just because it's 4 Malaysians, 4 Singaporeans. So this is so my match I was involved in is a 4v4 Survivor Series tag elimination match. What does that mean? It means that although there are 4, it means that every pinfall or submission onto the opponent, they are eliminated. So it could be like, so one person, so that means it could be potentially a 3v4 to start things off. And the only way to win is to eliminate all the other opponents. This is one of the craziest matches I've been in. I'm not sure if this is top 5, possibly. I've been in enough matches that I can give a little bit of a list. This is definitely top 5 for sure. And we came in hot. When the Singaporeans obviously came in first, and they obviously received the boost because the vast majority of us were obviously Malaysians. However, oh man, the crowd was hot for us real quick. Obviously, when my music hits, because so each of our music played one by one. Crowd was pretty hot for Jack when he came out first, and then I was second. And obviously, when I showed my masked face, people started to boo me actually, because that's what happens with me all the time. However, this is what I did. Folks. This is what I did. I really appreciate this crowd. This crowd was fascinating to work with, actually. No, my music came out, everyone booed me, and then there was this static noise. I raised a finger as if there was just the crowd. Hold on a second, and then Raj's music played, and that got the crowd. Oh, something's happening. Okay, and when Raj came out, people were like, we're back up. We're like roaring again. Okay, now I got the approval. Now I got their approval already. I got to high five everyone. So I actually sort of used a little bit of Raj's energy there to get that back in my group graces. Because remember, folks, this is Malaysia versus Singapore. I'm everyone's homeboy here. I'm everyone's homeboy. I'm going to make sure everyone is supporting yours lowly. Yeah. Yes, Poppy looked amazing in the first MyPW matchback. Absolutely. She toned up. For this match. I noticed. Mm-hmm. And then this part I am low-key really proud of. I am low-key really proud of what I did here. It was a spur of the moment. But I decided to do it. Miles Caru's music, the ladder center here, is what is it called? It's that Red Hot Chili Pepper music. What was it called actually? What was it called? Johan, could you help me out here? It's the one that goes. So I noticed that people were like waiting in anticipation for the music. Okay, the music was going on for a little bit, and I realized, hold on, I should clap. So I decided to raise my hands up and start to clap along to the beat of the music. And I made sure my gesture was super big as well. You know, I'm a short lad, but I will absolutely gesture the absolute F out of it to get noticed. And people started clapping along. It got loud too, you know. Miles was caught a little bit off guard by it too. Actually, when he told me after the event, like, whoa, people are clapping for my music? Yeah, because I got them to do it. Like, if there's any time for me to be a real team player here, mind you, I'm always a team player, okay? I know how to, I'm a bigger picture kind of guy, okay? So I got people, so I know how to be a hype man, okay? I'm actually pretty good with that sort of a thing. I want to make sure the crowd's on our side. So what better way to do that than audience participation? Clap to the music, getting people up and at 'em. And up and at 'em we did. Oh man, the crowd was excited for this match. I think the crowd was most excited for this match in particular, actually, just because of you know, because there's just so many bodies. Oh, anything could happen. Anything could happen, dude. So let's see that. So, oh man, and the smack talking did not stop actually. So when all 8 of us were in the ring, so that's a lot of bodies in the ring, mind you. Okay, the leader of the Singaporean gang, who is Big Dave. Oh man, yes, his name is Big Dave. Don't ask me why. It's his name. Actually, yelled out to the crowd. Oh, Can't Stop. Thank you. Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He actually had the audacity, the gumption, dare I say, the idiocy, to proudly yell out, "Singaporean food is better." What utter nonsense by this foolish Singaporean. What utter nonsense. God. So of course I had to rub it into his face. You know, I waved my, as you can see, my little Malaysian flag there. Fun fact. This very same flag is the exact same stupid tiny flag. I brought this flag to the Philippines all those years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, it's in the 5v5 Survivor Series tag elimination match as well. Huh. It's the exact same flag. Exact same match stipulation too. Huh. That's a good thing. It's the exact... I didn't realize it. I brought this stupid flag. This stupid tiny flag. The Philippines. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I waved this stupid tiny flag at his face. You know what Big Belly did? You know what Big Belly did? Sucked me in the face. Wasn't happy about it. That's what happened. And off we went. Big Dave thought he had the jump on me initially, but actually got him pretty good with a kick. And then, but he ran out of the ring, joined brawling on the outside with the others. I noticed that everyone was brawling outside, and I realized, wait a minute. So, and people were confused when I did this initially. I could clearly hear the audience that they were a little bit confused. I ran to the back, and I could hear people going, "Hey, where you going? I yelled out to everyone, I had an idea, but we were still confused, right? I went and got this. To peel the scene that was behind just a little bit. I must admit, the initial idea for this particular spot was actually to hold my stupid little flag, counter a charging opponent with a boot, jump up to the top rope, and do a top rope crossbody into the ring, mind you, So that was to be my first ever top rope spot. For a little bit of context as to why this moment was pretty special for me. And initially, it was supposed to be just that. Just a top rope crossbody to the opponent in the ring. And that would have been special for me already, because that would have been my first ever dive. To those that don't know what a dive is basically diving at your opponent. Just throwing your opponent. This could be from the middle rope. This could be from the top rope. Could be inside the ring. Could be out to the outside of the ring. But I have never, ever in my 7 years of professional wrestling ever done such a thing. Hell, I've never even dove from the middle rope either. Never. I do my, my corner pendulum knee drop thing all the time. That's not high flying, that's not diving. Long-term storytelling. I guess it is. I forgo my stupid little flag and went for something much more ambitious. I grabbed the flag. I ran out. Still yelling, I have an idea. I saw a video, and there were actually people, I could hear them say, hey, belum menang lagi. That means, hey, you haven't won yet. I didn't realize that. It sort of looked like I was like doing a preemptive celebration, actually. It looked like I was just like winning. I was celebrating a victory that has yet to come, That wasn't my thought process at all. I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to make Team Malaysia proud. So I climbed up to the top rope. And without much training at all, and mind you, so just for a look, just to peel the behind the scenes just a little bit more, it's not that I've never ever done a top rope move before. I have, but in training, okay? I can even springboard. Lots of people don't know that I can springboard, but I can springboard pretty confidently, actually. I just never really, the opportunity never came about. I'm always, like I said, I'm a technical wrestler. I've always relied on my technical skill. Heck, even my striking skills, I'm not bad at itself, actually. And I really rely on that. And, because let's face it, high flying stuff is extremely risky, especially for someone like me. But if there's any time to do something bonkers, it's in a 4v4 tag elimination match. There's any time to do that, do something that bonkers, this bonkers, it's in a 4v4 tag elimination match. And so, even though, okay, and here's the thing, here's the kicker here, folks. I have never ever trained diving to the outside. Never, ever. I have never dove to the outside before. Ever. Oh, I cannot emphasize enough, even though, and it took me, you could make the argument that it took me a little bit to get up there. Just a little bit long. But I did it. I freaking did it. I climbed up there. I put the flag out loud and proud. Stared down at the people who were way below ground. People were screaming and roaring. Like that in that moment. The crowd of 150 that sounded like 300 sounded like 600 on that moment. And then I jumped. Why don't I show you? Why don't I show you, folks? You ready? You can see the crowd. Yeah, you can see just how much the crowd is actually moving, actually. And I was actually yelling here, Malaysia, Bole, and just jump. I just realized I could have shown the footage of me actually posing actually. I'll show this later. So as you can see, the crowd went bonkers. And I will admit, my top rope jump here was a little bit jank. But did it topple more than 5 people here, including some of my own teammates? Yes. Why, yes, indeed I did. And got the job done. And I was so proud of myself that I actually went up to the apron and just Malaysia bullied it. Even though I look like an evil villain here, I was a proud Malaysian in this moment. I look like such an evil villain here. Wow, it's Cornelius, Malaysia bully. Of course. People think that I'm not patriotic. I proudly proclaim that I'm from Damansara, Uptown, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, all the time. People think I'm not patriotic. Well, look at this as proof. This is the real proof of my citizenship right here. Imagine if you were to exile me when I have this photo. No. You can't exile me. I dove with a Malaysian flag on me. First time for everything, and it was all worth it. Absolutely. I cannot believe my first time diving out of the ring was holding the Malaysian flag. Oh god, if you were to tell me this 5 years ago, I would tell you, are you insane? You're insane. Oh, wait, okay, did I mention? Okay, I hope I mentioned this already. But I will admit, this was not my idea. My idea, again, was the top rope crossbody, but someone decided if there's any time to do a crossbody to the outside, it's this. Hey, wait, and you guys have a Malaysian flag. I'm not gonna say who this person was, just because I'm gonna keep things a little more secretive. Preserve the magic a little bit more, as it were. That person asked, "Do you have a Malaysian flag?" And I said, "Yes, we." Oh, we do. And then it was all downhill from here. So even though I had what is pretty much the moment of the night, like this was as good as it got. Okay, this was the most insane moment of the entire show. Yeah, let's just say that my hubris got ahead of me a little bit, and I got eliminated first, and it was kind of all downhill from here. We defended pretty valiantly. I will admit, we defended pretty valiantly. Like a Jack here really stepped up. He did 2 dives in this match, you know. One is this beautiful shot of him throwing himself to the outside. There's actually another moment too where he did a corkscrew plancha to the outside. It's to the left of this photograph here. Dato Cornelius low coming. I'm hoping. I have a bunch of Malaya just ready just for that. I have a beautiful thumbpin too, actually. But unfortunately, Big Dave really was the MVP of this match. I hate to see it. And he delivered one of the most vicious brainbusters I've ever seen, especially in person. I've seen him do amazing brainbusters before, but my god, the way he just elevated him, straightened him up, and dropped him straight down. Oh! It was a violent mess. Oh, it left Shaman Jack Alexander a broken bag of bones. Oh, I'll explain that for the pretty soon. YouTube no longer have country flag. What? No. Wait, no. You're kidding. Oh my goodness, they don't. What? I use those pretty often, especially with what I do. Oh, they don't? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's such a pity. That's such a pity. My word. So apologies, folks. I'm gonna have to stand up now. As always, folks. Every hour I must stand up to relieve the pressure. To relieve the Russia under pressure. Pushing down on me, pushing down on you. No, 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 no. Under pressure. Oh. No, wiggle. I can't find Malaysia flag in mine search status. Yeah, I tried it just now as well. Doesn't seem to be working. Pity. Real pity. Real pity. Either way. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what happened with my match. At least I will always have the top rope nonsense. Let's see. Okay. All country flag no longer available. Yep, I noticed that too. Okay. So I need to explain this. So I'm not going to explain all the matches. Not all the matches. Because, and I think this is a bit of a good news actually. My PW has decided to release on YouTube starting actually tomorrow, full matches from New Breed 2. So our big show last March, our last show, so our big show in Causeway, the New Breed 2, we're releasing full matches on a weekly basis. Well, at least Cornelius carry Malaysian flag, of course, proudly. Now, will I have full intentions of diving off top rope, holding other flags? Not necessarily other country flag, but maybe other objects of flag shape. That sounds interesting indeed. I might just do that. Is this gonna be a signature move of mine? Diving to the outside. I want it to be. I have the high flying bug now. I have the high flying bug, and it's horrifying. I have the high flying bug now. I was always a safe wrestler, and now here I am, throwing my body to the wind. Oh man. So, Johan, are you still here? So after the whole event was done, we all did a little house call. We all said our goodbyes and stuff. And then suddenly, as the wrestlers were slowly leaving out of the ring, with the exception of me, I was like still sitting on the top rope, just relaxing, drinking my water. I saw these two bickering. And they were going at it a little bit throughout the show, but they were really like arguing with each other a little bit, being at each other's faces here. And then all of a sudden, I think this is what happened. I saw this live only really quickly. By the way, those who aren't aware, so this is Johan. This is our commentator. This is Johan Singer here, the one in the chat here, mind you. And the one that he's holding in his arm, the big man, is Sean Rick. He is the announcer for Grapple Max. He's actually a fairly well-known guy in Singapore too. He's actually also an actual radio DJ. Actually, he previously worked as a singer in Universal Studios Singapore. Actually, but he's currently a radio DJ. So he actually has gotten around. He's actually a fairly established name. I remember when I did a show, that Singapore show, Graveyard Shift. people legitimately went to graveyard shifts because they found out that Sean Rick was there as an announcer just because he was a well-known radio DJ. Oh, this is our Johan. Yes, this is our Johan, my Johan. Back off. So they were bickering, and things were boiling over a little bit. Until finally, Johan snapped, kicked the very, very large Sean Rick where the sun don't shine, where the jewels came from the family, right there and then, in the center of the fleshy earth, and down went Sean Rick. Mind you, Sean Rick is over 6 foot tall. He's a huge dude. Johan here grabbed his head, and I didn't show it here, gave him a DDT. The announcer, the Malaysian announcer, gave the Singaporean announcer a DDT. I do not know if there is footage of this, like as in video footage of this. All I have are photographs of this happening. But he did give him a DDT, and like people went ballistic for it. Wait, they could not. And that's how we close the show, folks. That's how we close the show. Oh my goodness. So to explain a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of folks here, I'm sure the vast majority of the audience was also confused here. This is a story that has spanned more than 6 years. Because, if I'm not, yeah. Sean Rick and Johan were both the respective Singaporean and Malaysian announcers in every Causeway Jam. And from the first ever Causeway Jam, those two have been at it, at each other's throats. To the point where, I believe in the first ever Causeway Jam, Johan, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Sean Rick give you a choke slam? So Singaporean Sean Rick gave Malaysian Johan a choke slam in Singapore. I think that's what happened. And that sort of sparked their own little rivalry, actually. And then it finally culminates in this. Yeah. So, although I must admit, this match, this show was mostly Singapore winning it. Most of the matches were won by the Singaporeans in this match. Johan won it for us all. He won it for us all. I guess that's one way to send the audience home happy. Oh, I can't believe this happened. And that concludes our show. Ooh. And also, I also did a little choke slam, salam perkenalan. Also, I decided to do. So obviously after the show is done, we had a little merch table thing going on as well, actually. I decided to do something a little bit cheeky, actually. So as some of you may know, I actually have a second mask, so a second white mask like this one, but without this transparent plastic eye hole here. There's no plastic film on my round eye hole here. So I decided to put that onto my bust. So I have an actual bust. Some of you may have seen it before. In fact, I can actually show it. One second. Let me just put this all away. I can actually show it. Where is it? Oh, wait. Are they not? I didn't put the masks on them. Okay, it's these. These are my busts. I know it's kind of weird. I know it's gonna be a little bit. But I put my mask on it, and proudly displayed it at my merch stand, at my merch section. And I gotta say, I don't know if that was the reason why my merch did particularly well that day, because it did, and it's all thanks to you guys. So really do appreciate it. Pretty much a 6-year story. Dang. We're telling long-term story that doesn't just exist in WWE, folks. Long-term storytelling does not just exist in WWE, it exists here as well. Well, not a choke slam, but more of a Sister Abigail move. Sorry, twisting flatliner, as the technical term goes. I should be. Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. Twisting flatliner. The fact that I even know that, I don't know. Maybe I can join you in the commentary table one day, Johan. But yes, back felt good. I'm sure it must have. So yeah, really appreciate my merch sales did particularly well this time round. And now comes the part of the show, part of the stream that I wish I didn't have to talk about this. I kind of have to. I kind of have to. So, there was an incident, however, during intermission. Our intermission was about 20 minutes long this time round. And during this time, and everyone could freely move about. I actually came out came out backstage to be at my merch stand and shill my merch essentially. Talk a little bit to the audience, whoever wanted to greet me and stuff, all that sort of jazz. And I was talking with someone, I think it was a fellow wrestler. And suddenly I heard a banging at the ring. And I definitely know it was the ring because the ring is the sound from the ring is very, very clear to my ears. And at that distance, so I was at the merch stand, which is quite a little bit away from the ring itself. I could clearly see two people leaving the ring. And no, they were not wrestling personnel at all. That I could tell. So it happened in a blink of an eye. It happened in a blink of an eye, actually. And I nearly flipped my shit. Regarding the footage of my DT to Sean Rick, it's on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Johan, if you wish to, since you do have the blue wrench after all, if you want to link one of the videos on my chat, please feel free to do so. But yes, I flipped my wig. I nearly flipped my wig. Well, in this case, my mask. Why? Because this was the third time this has happened. This is the third show in a row where this happened. This happened in last year's house show. This happened in New Beat 2. And there's a couple more times as well. I don't want to count those times because it's typically in this new era of professional wrestling that we really sort of enforce this policy of not letting non-wrestling personnel into the ring. And frankly speaking, unless if you're a child, you don't need to be a damn rocket scientist. You don't need to be a wrestler to understand why going into the ring when you're not authorized to do so is bad etiquette and why you're not allowed in the first place. Do you go into a film set when there's filming going on? Do you run up to a musical theater stage when there's a show going on? Hell, even when there's an intermission during a musical theater, are you allowed up there in the stage? No, for freaking obvious reasons that is not your space to enter. That it is, guess what? A little bit dangerous to even be inside there. These ropes that you see here are freaking solid. The space, the ground that you're on, the mat. Yes, it's got some give, but it's not a trampoline. Yeah, I heard it from backstage as well. Yeah, it was loud. And so, it's so frustrating. So the first time this happened was, I don't know, for New Beat 2 was definitely like a bunch of two guys. So for New Beat 2 in particular, when I saw this, I was like, oh, freaking A. So I went in and shoot them out when it should have been the ring crew doing it. Where was the ring crew this time? And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, guys. Here's the freaking kicker. One of the ring crew guys literally said to me before the show started, they said jokingly, haha, and don't worry, Lo, we know to not let people enter. Like, okay, good. I don't wanna be that guy again to shoot people out, you know? I don't wanna be that guy. And then 2 people enter the ring. 2 audience members enter the ring. They paid tickets to watch the show, not to be a part of it, okay? I'm sorry, okay? I'm being an asshat about this because there are a lot of ramifications to be had here. What if what if you're injured in the ring? Who pays for your freaking bill? Like I said, these ropes are hard. What if you get a concussion when you fell in the ring? What if you broke an ankle while trying to run in the ring? I cannot emphasize this enough, okay? If you're an untrained person going to this ring, you could be in trouble. I have literally seen, like, audience members after the show, they enter the ring and try to muck about, you know, try to run the ropes. I have literally seen this one young chap. He tried to jokingly run around the ropes. The moment he hit the ropes, guess what? He lost his balance and fell because he didn't know how to run the ropes. The ropes are harder than it looks, and he fell. Luckily, it was okay. Freaking A. Well, that's exactly my point. You're not trained to be in it. You're not authorized to be in it. Don't enter it. You don't have to, like, we don't have to announce this for you to not enter it, you know? I don't even really blame my ring crew either. I don't even blame, sorry, not my ring crew, my PW's ring crew either for not noticing this because they knew. They knew. We had a whole spiel about this after the My PW New Breed 2 show, you know, about this. I hate to be that guy, but I had to tell them. But they looked away for just 1 second. 1 second, and then 2 people entered the ring. It was just so frustrating that this has happened for a 3rd consecutive time. Yeah. And so I told the producer of the show. Obviously he was just like busy, but obviously he was a little bit annoyed at it as well. He told me to tell the announcers to make an announcement about this and stuff. So, and I've told this same producer as well. I think the next show that we're doing, which is gonna happen fairly soonish, we better announce before the show starts itself. You know, don't enter the ring. The fact that this has happened 3 times in a row means that we have to give due warning already. So annoying. So annoying. My good gravy. I don't want to be mad about this again, guys. I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this now. So yeah, unfortunately, that kind of wrecked my mood for the rest of the night, somewhat. So then after that, so once the show was done, this was a brisk, roughly 2.5 hours in total, actually. We ended around, so show started at 6, so we ended around 8:30ish, and very, very thankfully, we had the Singaporean contingent to help us tear down the ring and reassemble it back into the ring, you know. So things were sped up by a good amount, actually, during for that night, just because we had a lot of Singaporeans helping us out. So in fact, some of them, I forgot to mention, some of them were actually crew members as well, actually, which we really appreciated. Really appreciated it, guys. What was that doing at the time? What was it that we were doing at the time? So once we got so I think, what was it that I was doing? It was all such a days on that Saturday night. But essentially, by the time we were done with the ring and stuff. Oh yeah, I remember now. I took some of the a lot. Eventually, the Singaporeans wanted to go back to the hotel a little bit earlier just to freshen up a little bit because they barely got any sleep. I'm gonna explain why very, very soon. So I took some of them to the hotel. Here's the thing. If I were to say to you guys that the hotel was in Jalan Chowkit in Kuala Lumpur, does that or does that not ring alarm bells for you? Because for a for a millennial Malaysian like myself, it most certainly does. It most certainly does indeed. And this hotel, I'm not gonna say exactly where it was, but obviously it was in Chowkit. It was sus. It was sus. Now, mind you, there were a lot of Singaporeans that went to this, that came to Malaysia. So obviously, they were working on a bit of the budget here. Yeah, they were working on a bit of the budget here. But the hotel that they were staying at was sassy. Like first of all, the road to this hotel was so bizarre. So somehow, some way, so this hotel, it was located I can only describe it as a roundabout. But this roundabout was a very, very tight oval that was going up slope. So it was a one-way road. Okay, a one-way road. There was a one-way circular road, and was going uphill too. And when I was going uphill here, both uphill and downhill, there were stalls. And mind you, I was obviously using Waze. I'm not a KLite, okay? I'm from Damansara Uptown for 6. So I used Waze, and it was just stalls on tiny stalls, selling all sorts of trinkets, selling all sorts of stuff. And I had to squeeze. It was like I was back in Chinatown, just squeezing through. But I guess this was like a Kampung Baru version of Chinatown, I guess. I wish I didn't have to announce this because it's common sense, but yeah, I hope I was able to get the message across. There was, well, at the time, or should I say in those 3 separate times, there was no common sense. There was no common sense being had. It was annoying. Yeah, sometimes, so this is what we have to do. So it's, so what could have been like a very quick drive up became a bit of a crawl. And here's the hilarious thing. All the guys that I was in the car with, all the Singaporeans, all told me that, dude, this hotel's haunted. This hotel is haunted. Not only was it a crap hotel, it was haunted too. Here's how crap the hotel was. Well, firstly, the toilet and the sink were all in the same space. It was a tiny ass room. Apparently, every single hotel room that the Singaporeans were residing in all had nasty stains on it. They all had smells on it. Oh man. And some of them had stories to boot. Okay? So after sending some of them to the back to the hotel, and then I caught wind that from Miles that, hey, some of them want to go have mama, go have late night supper essentially, because they were hungry and all that. Even though we had free dinner, again, complimentary dinner, one of the nice things about my PW. They wanted to have late night supper, and I picked up some of the Singaporeans. I was actually about to head back home actually, but then Miles contacted me. Hey, you wanna go have supper? And I was like, sure, why not? Keep in mind, the Sunday morning we were supposed to have a seminar actually, ran by Boss Gregory in my PW, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to slap the ring completely on the Saturday night. Malaysia Love Hotel hole, god damn it. Nope, It was not a love hotel. Not at all. I'll explain that soon. There are quite a lot of sus hotels in that area. I can imagine so. But in fact, there were some nice ones. You were not staying in one of the nice ones. Not at all. Not at all. So they decided to. So when I picked a few more of them, a few of them again from the hotel. Oh, the stories they told me. There's this one dude. The way he described this was so perfect. It's so indicative of the place that they were staying at. So I can only ever get away saying this in this stream, in this context. He said on that night, well, actually not on that night, on the Friday night when they arrived in, he heard both haram and halal. I'll let this sink in a little bit. But what do I mean by that? I mean that he heard the prayer calls from the mosque in one ear, and in the next ear, he heard from the next room loud noises from a lady. And this trainee believed that it was not the screams of agony. No. So, yeah. Haram and halal in Shawkit. I'm trying to picture this in my head, but I can't somehow pinpoint where exactly this area in Shawkit is. Johan, I'm gonna DM you the name of the place because I think it's because I you might know it, maybe. I hope I got this name right. Maybe you've bumped into that place before. Maybe. Hey, Miles, I'm talking about the incident with the prayer calls and the screams of a woman in the next hotel room. I'm gonna do one last math question before I slap at you on my motivation to finish it. Okay, Miles, stop it. This is not your stream. This is mine. So yeah, Miles, this is kind of your fault that I lost so much sleep on that Saturday night. Okay, I kind of blame you here. Okay? Because god dang it. You know why we were up so freaking late? You know why we were up so freaking late? Why we only finished our supper session till like 2 a.m.? You know why? Well, firstly, Miles brought me in. That's one thing. But for some reason, I don't know whose idea was it. It was one of the Singaporeans, but I don't know why. One of them decided, hey, let's go for a mamak. And the one that I could find that is apparently open all night long is in Jalan Bukit Bintang. To those that aren't aware, Jalan Bukit Bintang is the nightlife capital of Malaysia. It is a fairly long street of debauchery and drinking. So yes, that place don't sleep. In fact, opposite of there is also an equally busy street called Jalan Alor, which is a very, very long street of like what we call 小炒, like Chinese restaurants. Not just you, and it was worth it. Oh god, you're built different, Miles. I've got my reasons, okay? I've got my reasons. And so the drive to Bukit Bintang, even though it's technically not really far at all, I live near Pudu. Demong, you don't have to dox yourself. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need to dox yourself. But let me tell you, Saturday night, past midnight, was it still busy? Yes. I think Miles, you can verify this, right? You were stuck in the car with the other Singaporeans for what, close to an hour? Even though you picked them up from Chowkit. So yeah, I got busy. It got super. So yeah, the traffic was terrible. But eventually we went to the Mama. Also, guys, is Milo Chicago? Is Roti Canai Chicago Milo and egg? Because we saw on the menu in that particular Mama. I've never seen it before. Roti Chicago is apparently Milo and egg. I wanted to buy. I should have bought it for one of the Singaporeans. I don't know why I didn't. I have never driven in such dodgy areas. Believe it or not, Miles, you weren't seeing it at its most debauched. Let's put it that way. Because the road that because you're a young lad, so I can see why you say that. Yeah, the road, some of the facilities that leads up to Jalan Bukit Bintang, yeah, they're a little sussy to say the least. Port best. I've never been. I haven't been there before. Maybe I'll take a trip there. I'll park in Times Square or something just to ease the parking expenses. Especially the road leading up to the Accom. That was ridiculous. Yep, that was ridiculous. So eventually we had Mama at 2 freaking a.m. It was okay. It was nice hanging out with the lads. Don't get me wrong. It was nice to catch up with the Singaporeans because a lot of them I do consider very, very close friends. You know, I've known them for years now, quite literally. I remember the bunch of us we were joking actually about Miles actually. Like I think at one point I mentioned like how I used to like pick on Miles just a little bit, you know, because like I said something along the lines of sometimes when I want to annoy him I'll call him 5'11", and I realized wait I need to call him baby giraffe more, because I mean gods, look at him, look at this lad. Wait, where's my thing? I'll show you. Look at this lad. No, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Look at this lad. This lad is baby giraffe shaped. I'm thinking of calling him baby giraffe more often, actually. He's 6 foot. You sure? You sure about that, Miles? You sure about that? But there's one particular joke that I used to make about about him that I think I may or may not retire depending on my mood. I'm not gonna say what it is right now because this is a little bit mean. But then I made the comment to one of the my BW trainees. That he would be like, oh, every time I say it now, he would be like, oh no, why? Basically he'll turn on his whiny baby mode, and then the trainer is like, yes, he does whine like a baby. He does whine like a little baby. You're just coping because you're like 4 foot, not 4'15". What the hell is 4'15"? There's no such thing as 4'15". Hell is 15, not 4 feet. 5'2". I'm a good 5'2". And yes, Johan, I do see your DM to me, and sus, isn't it? Oh my goodness. So yeah, I may or may not retire that particular joke, even though it's still a good party trick. I must say. So I mentioned a little earlier that Sunday we are doing a little bit of a seminar, actually ran by in-boss Gregory. I will admit, by the time I got back home, it was past 3 a.m. I just collapsed. I could not at all. I didn't know this existed, and I disagree. I disagree. So I decided to just come by a little bit later. I did the math question. Thanks for your inspiration, though. You're welcome, I guess. So, anyways, I arrived a little bit later in the morning. They were about finished. They were actually about finishing up on the sesh. And Boss Gregory was teaching technical wrestling actually, and was like, "Oh, this is what I wanted to learn and stuff." But luckily, he was actually pretty gracious in teaching me a specific move that I've always wanted to know how to do. It's a he calls it a pigeon lock. I'm not sure if that's the official name. Even he admits it's such. But it's like a lig lace lock sort of a thing. I've always wondered how to do it, especially because that's very much a grapple max maneuver. And so after that, after the Sunday seminar session was done, we decided to head on to our typical eating place. And damn it! I wish I had the photograph. I wish I had the photograph with me. I just realized I didn't download that. Let me see very quickly. It should be on my Twitter somewhere here. I'm pretty sure I had it on my Twitter. I did. Okay, I'm going to just see. Maybe can I do this? Okay, I'm going to show this photograph here. You'll see why. Miles had this idea, and Boss Gregory had the mathematician of Southeast Asian wrestling. That's a good analogy. That's a very good analogy indeed. How have I not had a match with that man yet? How have I not had a match with him yet? I really should. I must lobby for this. He's an older gent, still trying to hold on to his prime. I'm a slightly younger wrestler, but still on the older side, trying to reach his prime. And we both enjoy a good bit of tech as well. I must say that brief time I had wrestling against him in that 3v3 match in Singapore. I did wrestle him in Singapore in February. I did. And that's not good enough. No. Not good enough. I want in Boss Gregory Miles. I want him IPW. I'm going to lobby for it. Just you wait. Anyways. Let me see if I can copy this thing and show it to you guys. Okay, stop. Work with me here, computer. Oh no, that's not what I want. I'll just do this. Okay. I will show it to you soon, folks. So Miles had this crazy idea in this eatery, and I think it only occurred mainly because, like, you know, and Boss Greg is here, so obviously you want to do some memorable stuff. What did he do? What did we order? Well, we ordered chicken. We ordered a lot of chicken. Let me rephrase that again. We ordered a stupid amount of chicken. How many pieces? Ostensibly 20? 20. There were like, give or take, 6 of us. One of us legitimately ordered also like laksa and nasi lemak as well. And that person also ate a good bit of the chicken as well. So we gorged. We filled up on our protein intake for the week with a lot of chicken. It's good chicken, dude. I finished 3 or 4 pieces. 3.5. No, definitely 3.5. Why? That final half piece was the final piece left, and I was like, should I go for it? Should I go for it? And Miles was like, come share with me. Let's tear half. And then we literally like he used his hand, I used my hand, and we ripped it in half. And I made the comment. I made the comment. Like animals. Apparently it freaked them out. I was just saying it just like get in the mood of like finishing the meal, because I was in the chicken eating zone. I was like, like animals. And everyone looked at me like, no, you're the animal. What do you mean I'm the animal? Everyone else was eating. Everyone else had a good few pieces of chicken than yourselves. This is hypocritical of you guys. Technically, we had a total of 22 chickens. I believe there were 2 complimentary chickens indeed, just because like this must have been a massive batch of chicken to fry. 3 or 4 pieces only, Cornelius? Eat a lot more. There were 6 of us. Okay? That's more than enough chicken to go around. The fact that I ate 3.5 is already a pretty good portion of that, okay? Okay. Remember guys, I've suffered from a degenerative disc disease. Which means that I'm technically not supposed to gain weight. If not, that will just put pressure onto my already degenerated spine, okay? Okay. I'm still glad that I'm at a point where I can still eat a good bit, maintain some body weight. 6 is not an excuse. Oh, come on. Why is everyone up and at 'em on me? Why is everyone up on my case about this? There was also a laksa and nasi lemak and a wonton mee and some sticks as well. Ah, yes, from the others, Yeah, lots of food. There were quite a few foodies indeed in that gang of ours. Indeed. Remember, we're pro wrestlers, guys. We will feast. Oh, jeez, you have no idea. Don't worry about it, Demong. Don't worry. But you're not that aware you're not aware of the intricacies of my condition. So yeah, 3 or 4 pieces is fine. I'm not gonna gain stupid amounts of weight over just this. Yeah. So how have you been, Sweet Bread? How have you been indeed? Sweet Bread here is a fellow VTuber who most prominently made quite a few models for WrestleTuber 2024. I hope you're actually alright, Sweet Bread. I saw that you went through a little bit of you went a bit under the knife yourself, actually. I hope the healing process has been going well for you. It's a bit of a huge undertaking, and I hope you've come out of it stronger. I'm asleep now. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Just go. Don't get 5. It's past 12 and you're awake now. Go sleep, you brat. Yeesh. Yeah. So Rebret, did you saw the clip of me flying? You saw the clip of me flying? Very surprising to see me fly, eh? Ooh, maybe I should head to a Filipino wrestling show and pull this off, same stunt. That'll get the clicks. Indeed. I can move my arm now, but still can't carry heavy stuff. Okay, now that's pretty good. That's actually a good progress indeed. You gotta take these things day by day, man. Trust me, I know this firsthand. You gotta take these sort of things day by day. Every little day is a little victory that you gotta cherish. You gotta value. You trust me. You trust me in this. Yes, but let's watch it again. Okay. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Close this, and one more time, courtesy of Malaysia Pro Wrestling. Oh man, if I was doing this in the Filipino crowd, you guys would be up on your feet, screaming your heads off, jumping up in the air. I know what the crowd's like there in the Philippines. You guys will eat this up so big time. Oh, I cannot emphasize how terrifying it is to balance myself up there. I cannot emphasize this enough how terrifying it is to balance myself up there. Like, I'm actually pretty used to standing on the top rope, actually, but facing into the ring, I can actually stand there all day. Yes, but we can't use the PH flag. We can't? Or rather, you can't? Is there some sort of law decreeing that you can't use the flag in that manner? Because and dare I say, every Malaysian is totally fine with me using this flag in this manner. Is that a law, actually? Is that legitimately a law? But yeah, standing in this position standing like this in this position was terrifying because I've never stood in this position before. Okay, I don't know if I could have balanced that for very long at all. Next goal is to jump from the second floor. Please no. Please no. Please no. I'm insane. Can this be just the max? Please. I don't want to power creep this. Please, I don't want to power creep this. Yes, PH flag can't touch the ground by law. I mean, to be fair, it's not like I touched the... It's not like the flag... let's say if I were to do this with the PH flag, it's not like I touched the ground. In fact, the flag was on top of the wrestlers. If that... I mean, is that sort of thing still... Is that sort of a thing still a no-no? Even if I were to land on a huge number of wrestlers and the flag was on top of the wrestlers, is that still a no-no, actually? Is that still a no-no? That's a pity, because that is a pity indeed. Because that means this sort of stunt I can't do in the Philippines, which is a bit of a pity. I must say. What if I were to hold a small flag, like a stupid small flag? Let me show you. No, not this one. This one. You see that ridiculously small flag? What if I were to hold that and dive? Will that still be a bit of a no-no? Because that much higher chance of the flag not touching the ground at all. People will still talk about it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's not like we're decrying. It's not like we're insulting the flag. In fact, I dare say I'm honoring the Jalo Gumilang, the Malaysian flag, by doing this. Actually, in fact, the whole reason why people went utterly bonkers over this was because I flew like this. Was because I flew with the Malaysian flag. Oh well. Them's the rules, and I shall respect it. But that about concludes my little post-mortem on my PW Causeway Jam. Overall, in spite of a couple of issues, it was an incredibly successful show. And part of the reason why, folks, is because actually we were selling tickets via the website, a website, Ticketmaster, if I'm not wrong, as opposed to by a phone number. That's how we did for the previous 3 house shows, actually. We did this with a phone number, and we sold out practically a whole week before the show began. And then we sold out, and then we opened up more seats, and we were sold out twice. So yeah, we should have maybe done the whole website ticketing thing. That helped heaps. Funny idea. Different flag, no fly zone flag, then jump. Yeah. Maybe, what if it's not a PH flag? What if it was like a DexCon flag or a FPW flag? Unfortunately, I wish it was an MWF flag. I'm sure you heard the news about that, so we read. It's very unfortunate. My heart goes out for them, indeed. Oh man! And the MWF, the Manila Wrestling Federation, had the best championship title in all of Southeast Asia. A jeepney championship belt? Are you kidding me? Gorgeous. Crowd was insane. Indeed, it was Nicholas Adams. Indeed, indeed, it was. Indeed, it was. Thank you for coming on by. But I'm kind of like ending the stream already, unfortunately. But much appreciated for you dropping on by. So overall, yeah, fantastic show. I wish actually I wish we did the whole website ticket thing much earlier for house shows. But hey, no time to start than now. So lesson learned indeed. So man, I guess maybe future looks good, folks. Future looks good in Malaysia Pro Wrestling. And I would love to also head on to the Philippines as well to wrestle. I love the title, but some don't like it. Some people don't have taste. Some people just don't have taste. It looks like a jeepney. It looks incredibly unique. It is big. It is bold. It is brash. It looks like nothing else in the world. It might very well be the most beautiful title on earth. And I say that with genuine confidence. It looks not like nothing else in the wrestling world right now. It is gorgeous. But alas, oh man, MWF is gone. Pity. Real pity on that. I might talk a little bit more about that in the future, in further detail. But yeah, it's just a real pity that'll happen. But at least the MWF roster had got sort of a little bit of a swan song in DexCon. It has identity. Abso-freaking-lutely, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Ah, man, I got my ass whooped. You got your ass whooped in a good way, man. You got your ass whooped in a good way. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, Adam. I don't know what you mean. Actually, I want to have a custom title of my own. That would be pretty neat. I could say the same for myself, actually. In any case, folks, we're about done with the stream. Thank you so much for coming on by, Everylow. Thank you so much for coming on by. As always, folks, you can find me on my socials as well. On TikTok, on Twitter, and on Instagram as well. That's why I post usually more so my IRL stuff. I know there's another PH promotion. Yes, FPW, Filipino Pro Wrestling. In fact, there's actually another one as well called WUW. World Underground Wrestling. So there's at least two more. It's just the MWF was the big one because that was the one that's actually shown on television. So that's just a real pity on what transpired with MWF. I guess DexCon is still. DexCon is not like. I guess DexCon is still ongoing actually. Now that I think about it, so that's pretty good to hear. So yeah, there's 3 more wrestling promotions in the Philippines. That's insane. Man, imagine if there were like wrestling promotions in other parts of Philippines too. Like if there's any place in Southeast Asia that could potentially do the territories thing, it's actually, I dare say, Philippines. Imagine if it was in like, I don't know, Bisaya or something like that. I'm not very familiar with the provinces in Philippines, but yeah, just imagine. Ooh, wrestling? I don't know what it is. MWU, Multiverse Wrestling Universe. Not a wrestling promotion, but promo heavy. Wait, that's a Filipino wrestling promotion? I have never heard of them before. And mind you, I know my Southeast Asian wrestling promotions. I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of that before. Is this really a Filipino wrestling promotion? Huh. Well, either ways, folks. Either ways. And also, if you wish to come on down to my Discord, that'd be much appreciated as well. Let me just get the link for you. It is well, not a wrestling promotion, but they parody WWE wrestlers. I see. It's a little bit of a hot take by me, I suppose, but I am of the opinion that if you're gonna run a wrestling promotion, your wrestlers should be their own wrestlers. Let's put it that way. So here's my Discord, folks. I post all sorts of stuff there. I share not just my wrestling stuff, but also things related to whatever I'm interested in. It could be voice acting, could be music, obviously food, and that's about it, folks. And don't forget that tomorrow I am actually still streaming. Square Circle Made Simple is going to be returning. I just haven't made the waiting room for that just yet. I've been, like I said, busy. But either way, folks, thank you so much for joining me in my little post-mortem stream here. Cafe Cornelius is now closing shop, but my Cafe Cornelius never closes in your hearts. Have a lovely night, Mina. Have a lovely night.